Love is in the air. Can you feel it? What's going on, guys? Today we are making a meal worth a rose. Today we are making rose tteokbokki. Now, this dish is going to be creamy, flavorful, and have a little bit of spice to spice up your life. Here's how we make it. You're going to need about 4 cups of tteokbokki. You can get that at your local H Mart. Shout out to H Mart. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the 4 cups into a bowl here. This bowl has some hot water in it. We're just going to let that kind of sit, saturate, and not be so firm, and kind of loosen up a bit. So off to the side, we will put that. Then into a wok, we are going to be cooking up some fantastic pork belly. We're going to fry this in the pan. It's going to give it a nice savory, crisp texture. We are also going to be putting in some broccoli for some color and crunch, along with some different spices and flavors to really brighten up and flavor this dish beautifully. While that is busy soaking, why don't you come on over? Let's head over to our stovetop to get everything into this wok and getting it going. Let's go. What's going on, guys? We are here at the stove where we are going to fire some things up and make this dish come alive. Our wok is on high heat. As you can see, the oil there is starting to get a little bit smoky. So in goes our pork belly. Listen to that nice sizzle. Now, for this pork belly, we're going to want to cook this in the wok until it is almost cooked through. Once it is cooked almost through, what we are going to do is we're going to add our veggies. We're going to add a little bit of seasoning and let that kind of all get combined and mixed together. And then we're going to go in with that delicious, creamy, rose-colored sauce. With that sauce, we're going to have about 2 cups of milk with about 2 tablespoons of gochujang. Now, gochujang is a soybean paste. It's got a little bit of heat to it, but it's going to give it a nice, bright, vibrant red rose color. It's going to take this dish to the next level. Optionally, I'm also going to be adding about 1 cup of my homemade chicken stock. This is, again, an optional thing. I am adding it for just a little extra flavor, another level to this dish. I think it'll be nice once we get the tteokbokki in there. It'll really soak up all those nice flavors that we're looking for, and just take this thing up another notch. All right, now, as you can start to see, some of the color around the pork belly is starting to, you can see it's starting to cook through. So we're going to kind of want to just flip those around and look at that nice char on the back side of these pork bellies. Now, pork belly looks very similar to that of bacon. Very fatty, very delicious meat. Something I think that's going to have a nice chew to it when we get this dish fully cooked. But this is already starting to look so delicious. Okay, now I'm seeing some color on both sides here, so I'm thinking we are almost at that almost cooked part, to which case then we are going to add in a pinch of salt. I'm going to add some garlic powder here. Just a dash there. And then I'm going to go a little bit light on the heat here, but just a couple dashes of red pepper flakes. This won't make anything too spicy, but it will give it a nice little kick. Next goes in our broccoli. And then we are going to mix all of this so that it combines. This smells fantastic already. Now, we're just going to give this a couple of minutes. It'll allow the seasonings, the salt and stuff to kind of start to cook and adhere to our meat. We also want to give the broccoli some time to cook as well, but this is already starting to look phenomenal. So a couple minutes here, and then we're going to go in with our delicious sauce, and then finally top it off with that tteokbokki that we've drained from the hot water. And this is going to be a perfect meal. All right, guys, as you can start to see, the pork belly has got a delicious color to it. The broccoli, it's got more of a greenish hue to it, so you know that it's starting to really get cooked in there. I think all we need is just one more good flip, and I think we are ready for our sauce. Now, like I said, optionally, I am adding a cup of my homemade chicken stock. If you haven't seen that recipe, go check it out. You gotta try it. It is delicious. Then, the sauce that makes it all. We've got 2 cups of whole milk here. I have whisked 2 tablespoons of that gochujang, so it's already kind of got that rose color. Everything is incorporated. We're gonna pour that in here, and look at that. Get the rest of that delicious gochujang paste in there. Okay. Now, additionally, I'm going to add a tablespoon of sesame oil and soy sauce into our mixture. I'm going to reduce the heat to medium high, and we're just going to kind of let this start to cook. Now, what we should start to see is the sauce should start to reduce, and it should slowly start to thicken up. It'll especially thicken up once we get the tteokbokki in there. And then our final touch is to put some delicious mozzarella cheese. I know, you heard me right. This dish isn't complete without a little bit of cheesiness to it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna just let this kind of cook in the broth, get all those flavors nice and incorporated, and we will come check back here in just a few minutes. All right, guys, we are back. Things are happening. We are bubbling. This is looking delicious. Our sauce is starting to reduce. It's got a little bit more of a thicker consistency to it. It is not completely all just liquid. So now we are going to add our drained tteokbokki. Just gently pour that into the sauce. And we're just going to kind of fold and incorporate this into our liquid. This should all then start to thicken up because that tteokbokki is going to soak up all of those delicious flavors in our wok. And this smells and looks perfect. Creamy Rose Tteokbokki. Nothing better. With an added option of broccoli. Perfect for any weekday or weeknight. All right, now the sauce here is really starting to kind of thicken up. Still a little bit liquidy, but you can definitely feel as I am mixing and trying to fold all of the ingredients together that everything is starting to kind of tighten up. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce our temperature here to about medium low. I kind of want just all the flavors to get nice and incorporated, snug next to each other, like a cold January night curled up on the couch. All right. Now the final touches to this dish, obviously, once we go to plate it, we will be adding some cheese to it. Optionally though, you can always add cheese to it as it is cooking, which I think is a fantastic idea. Now, you can use Swiss cheese, you can use mozzarella cheese. I'm going to opt for mozzarella. I think that is a great cheese that I think will work perfectly for this dish. So I've just got store-bought shredded mozzarella cheese here. I'm going to go ahead and portion this with my heart. I'm going to take a big heaping handful, just kind of spread that over the top. We're going to go about another half of a handful here. Look at that. Just a small pinch of salt. I mean, where's a bowl? We need to serve this up now. This is looking fantastic. All right. Almost done. We're going to go ahead and start to fold in that cheese. Oh yeah. And look at this sauce. Definitely thicker. This is going to taste how it looks, which looks as beautiful as a rose. All right. Everything is kind of folded in. We just need to wait for it to finish completely cooking through, and then we are going to serve this up and plate. Let's go ahead and head back to our kitchen island to plate this, serve it, and do one final taste. Welcome back. If you stuck around this long enough, you know that this is the best part. Look at this. I mean, if that doesn't just look fantastic. Smells good. The aroma in the house is exactly what we need for tonight. All right, I'm going to plate myself up some. Make sure I get a little bit of everything. The tteokbokki, the pork belly, a little bit of that broccoli. And this looks great. Now, optionally, if you want, put a little bit more shredded cheese on there. If you're a heat guy like me, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of sriracha. I think for tonight, we're going to try this as is. Now, I'm usually a chopstick person, but I want to make sure I get every little bit of this in one bite. So make sure we get some of that pork belly, a little bit of that tteokbokki, and some broccoli. Cheers. Oh my God. This. What? I'm speechless. I'm speechless. It's flavorful. It's got enough heat, just enough, Nothing that's gonna, kick your teeth in, but just enough to that after you take some, you just feel a little tingle in the back, and then you're in for seconds. I think the veg in there, the broccoli, is nice. It's a nice crisp crunch that really plays well with that soft tteokbokki, and it soaks up all of those delicious flavors. From the milk and gochujang to that homemade stock, I think that was the right move. And then, I mean, heck, who doesn't like cheese? The cheesiness, and then the nice bite from the pork belly. You have got to try this. Thank you so much for watching. What do you want to see me cook next? What is your favorite comfort food? Comment below. Thank you so much for watching. I am Mr. C. Don't forget to like and follow. As always, this is Mr. C, the Cook and Teach. And this is Cook and Teach out.